The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These 60 plus combined years of experience have made them experts in the field. Or at least they sure think so. Join them this week as they talk about something from the wonderful world of Nintendo. Listening to the Virtual Boys podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 108. I'm your host, James. Just make some levels and quit being weird about it. And with me, I have Skylar.
Real Mega Buster.
And it's just me and Skylar today. Nice Mega Man reference, by the way. So it's just me and Skylar today. Jordan and David were not able to come with us. You know, school is just starting for not only us, but a lot of you as well. And sometimes that first week can be a little rough. But hopefully everyone can make it over the first week slump, first month slump, maybe even first semester slump. Just don't let it get to you. Manage your time and go play some video games, because that's really why we go to college, right?
Yeah, exactly. You just got to clear your slate to play some games.
Now, of course, our topic for this episode is the recently announced Direct filled to the brim with new Switch and 3DS news. We'll be discussing what we liked and didn't like, in particular the surprise announcement at the end. You know the one. But first, I just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page, because these episodes are going up early as a reward for those that support us. Check out patreon.com/Nintendcity. Of course, if you wanted to talk about this episode, which we would love to talk with you about, check out our Discord community at nintendo.city/discord. Now we go directly to you. The Nintendo September Direct. We're excited to gush or rant about the newest Direct, but sometimes life has other plans in mind. Isn't that right, Skylar?
Yes, well, I'm currently holding bananas, so
whoa.
Yes.
Thank you, Iwata. Nintendo canceled the Direct the morning of the airing, so we are not talking about that Direct quite yet. But for a good reason. An earthquake, 6.7 earthquake, hit the northern island of Japan called Hokkaido. Obviously, all of Japan are focused on helping those affected by the earthquake, including Nintendo. Beyond simple respect and courtesy, it may have been a business decision by them as well, and not wanting to take away or compete with the disaster relief. I don't know. It's hard to really read someone's motives on the subject, but either way, it was definitely a sign of respect. And hey, we're kind of in a bad spot here, so let's wait on this kind of a thing.
Yeah, I hope they can come out of it. They've been hit a lot this year.
Yeah, 2018 has not been nice to Japan. I mean, literally just a couple of days ago, they had a big typhoon come in, and it kind of hit Osaka area quite a bit, but which is about an hour or so away by train from Kyoto, where the headquarters is. The winds were so strong that actually the N on the Nintendo building knocked down. So it just says Nintendo instead of Nintendo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. So we got to change our name to Intensity, right?
Oh, no. Now the pun's revealed.
Crap. We've been duped. We've been discovered. But no, in all seriousness, I actually lived a couple years in Hokkaido here and there. Here and there in Hokkaido for 2 years. from what I understand, blackouts are everywhere on the island, but some areas are worse than others. For the time being, no one that I know was harmed, but I can imagine it's traumatizing just to be in that situation. Actually, I was in Japan when that big tsunami hit them in 2011. So I unfortunately, I was living in Hokkaido and that really didn't get hit much, but I mean, all in Japan was in mourning because I mean, as America would be too. I mean, it was just terrible how bad the tsunami hit, and I'm sure the same thing is happening now. So I don't blame Nintendo wanting to wait on releasing this Direct.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a lot of Western fans will be disappointed, but what's one more week gonna hurt, right?
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, we don't exactly have have a date yet, but I'm sure Nintendo will let us know when that happens. I thought it was a week, but I could be wrong. So
yeah, no, we don't exactly know. I think there are rumors like there was a recent some Splatoon data mine or something like that, but yeah, we'll see. I personally think it is within a week, maybe not necessarily a week, but we will see. Oh, I do know, however, that looks like in some areas power will come back to Hokkaido for about a week or something like that. Like if I read the article correctly, but yeah, so that's that. But of course, be careful of potential leaks. Up until then, we already have one leaked by Nintendo themselves. Do you think I should mention it? I mean, it's kind of been all in the gaming media. Do you know about it?
No, I don't actually.
And then probably best to not.
I mean, I'd be fine with it personally. Maybe we can talk about it after.
Oh, sure. Okay. If you're fine with yeah. I mean, it's not like it's a new reveal per se. So it's actually rather small. The title for Yoshi's game is called Crafted World. Yoshi's Crafted World. Let me double check that.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it's so adorable. Like, honestly, like I was so sad we didn't see more of this game, especially having seen it on the Treehouse in E3 2017. I have expected to see it again, but well, look, I mean, it looks like that we'll get to see it in this Direct whenever that is. Yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World. That's what it's called. So where this comes from is the actual Nintendo website. For some reason, they had it up there for a while, and it must have been. It could have been like a error on some point. But the funny thing is, it went up hours before the Direct was supposed to come out. So this is almost like this is almost like a leak that was going to happen either way. So I don't know.
Oops.
Someone did not get the memo on that one. Wait. The Direct's that time? Oh, my bad.
Just a bit of a glitch.
Just a little bit. But there is also some other news that dropped tonight, the day the Direct is supposed to go out, that could have been used in the Direct. For example, a Mega Man demo was announced along with the trailer. So perhaps that was supposed to be in the Direct, but maybe Capcom and Nintendo planned on announcing it after the Direct, but that seems kind of silly to me.
Yeah, I got the Mega Man demo queued up in my on my download screen, so I'm excited to dig into that as soon as it comes to, or as soon as it downloads. My internet's not the best right now, so could take a little while. Poop. That and I've been re-downloading everything on my Xbox, and so it's been sucking bandwidth. It's been sucking bandwidth.
Understandable,
fierce, but
understandable.
So hopefully get it in soon.
I wonder how, because the stage level sounds like the same one I played at E3. So I wonder if there's any changes or differences to this to the game since then. Maybe not, but maybe there's some minor ones. I don't know. I'm interested to maybe check it out. It depends on how what games I'm playing right now. So we shall see. But either way, that is a game that you should try out, even if you've never played a Mega Man game. In fact, having played the game at E3, I think that is a great entry point into the series. It's user friendly, and there are different levels of difficulty. So pick your poison.
Now we could just get a Smash demo.
Yeah. Now
that same one that they showed off at E3.
Now you're using your noodle. That would be awesome. So yeah, I think that's all we have to say about a direct that was canceled. Quite a bit, but it was interesting circumstances. So that was lovely to say. Oh! There's one more thing. I don't know if this is going to be safe for the direct or not, but Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD was just announced for the Switch.
Man.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was meant to be for the direct. Maybe, I mean, I would think it would be, but either way, it's out, and I'm not sure when it's releasing, if it's not already out.
I have no idea. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD and Knuckles announced for Switch.
And Knuckles. Is it deluxe?
Yeah.
Oh. So
yeah, you never know.
Really brief thing about this. I despise this art style. Maybe despise is a strong word. I just don't like it. It is. I don't mind chibi style. Like there are some games that do it very well. I feel like Fire Emblem did it fairly well. There was another IP that I was thinking that did very well, but either way, there are a series that do it well, but this one is not it. Like maybe it's because we've already seen them in like HD and realistic graphics, I guess, but seeing them now that there's a lot about it that just doesn't make sense.
To me, it's just kind of weird because they don't really look like their like the main game counterparts. Like I forget the big guy's name. I just recently picked it up and I started playing it, but he doesn't look anything like him.
He looks like a freaking lumberjack.
Crazy.
Just like Paul Bunyan wannabe over here. Like, come on.
They gave him the Toon Link treatment for the big characters. They're just like huge upper bodies for some reason and stubby
I don't even
legs.
lift, dude.
Oh my word! Like in the game in Final Fantasy 15, he's like, "Yeah, I need the leg room." Here, it looks like they chopped his legs in half. So I don't think he needs leg room anymore.
Bad for the man.
But poor guy, he got reduced to a Paul Bunyan.
Like, I understand.
Knockoff.
Well, okay. First, keep talking about the style. Noxus just looks wrong. Like his head. I know chibi art style usually has a bigger head, but there's just something wrong with it. I don't know what it is.
His hair.
Maybe I don't know. It just doesn't look. It just doesn't look right. And none of these guys look right. And again, maybe it's just because we're used to seeing them in the actual game and not chibified. But I don't know. But here's.
Well, hey.
Oh, go ahead.
If it's the only way to get Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch, then, if you want to play the game and you have a Switch, then this might be the way to do it.
Yeah. So first off, if you need to play it on the Switch, if Switch is your only console and you really want to experience perhaps the story of it, because I think the gameplay may be super simplified as well, then this is for you. But if you have the option of playing it on the PS4 and you don't mind booting that up, get it on the PlayStation 4. I really don't see a reason why you would want to get it unless you just had to have it on the go with you wherever you go. But I mean, I know Final Fantasy 15 is not people's favorite game in the series, but it is visually speaking, it is very impressive. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of the important aspects of the game are really like watered down in this chibi-fied version. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. After playing like the intro to Final Fantasy 15 just so far, it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
But I know it gets pretty intense later.
Yeah.
Just because it's a Final Fantasy game.
They don't call it Final Fantasy Road Trip for nothing.
I call it Final Fantasy 15, even though it's the Final Fantasy. But I mean, it's it's not a bad game at all. It may not be people's favorites, but I haven't heard people hating it necessarily.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like
it's more like a kind of like a middle of the road or slightly better than that kind of game.
But to be fair, not every game has to be the greatest game that has ever come to our console ever. You know, I mean, there can be just good games.
Yeah.
So
exactly,
and that's possibly it. I mean, although maybe this is better than just saying good, but to each their own, I suppose. Were you going to say something? Sorry.
No, I mean, if you only have a Switch, this might be the way to do it. Although I'm not sure if this has come to phones at all, but it is an HD.
Yeah, so the Pocket Edition is out on mobile already, which is interesting that, but I guess they were waiting for the HD, because I don't think the Pocket Edition is HD. So maybe they're waiting for the HD-fy, the chibi-fied game, and then bring it to the Switch. I don't know.
Well, Switch has been getting a lot of phone games,
I don't think is a bad idea. Granted, they're not for everybody, and some people do with burning passion hate mobile games. But the Switch kind of acts like a mobile device, especially to the Japanese audience who are heavily invested in mobile games and mobile devices. So
yeah,
I think bringing mobile games to the Switch is not a bad idea. It's a fairly smart idea, I think. And maybe that's why Square Enix thought, oh, we'll just bring this mobile edition to the Switch because it just fits the platform better. And it's probably easier to make it run on it. Here's my thing. We have so many games that have come out for the Switch. While they may not all be current gen games, a lot of them do push the system to its limit, but it does work. And I wonder if Final Fantasy 15, as not the chibi version, but the actual original version, could have worked, in a what's the like. I'm trying to think of the word.
Like a scaled down.
Scaled down version. Not as high resolution or things like that. Obviously, there's a point where if you just can't do it, if it's not playable, then don't bother. But I mean, games like Xenoblade 2. I mean, granted, it wasn't like that at launch, but now it is a lot better than it used to be. Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Mario Odyssey. Skyrim, granted, Skyrim is not first gen or not current gen, but that's besides the point. They're all huge games that run fairly well on the Switch. So I think you could make it work. You could make a big game like that work. And if I see Dragon Quest 11 on my Switch in a slightly downscaled version from the PS4, I'll be very happy because that's finally they're keeping their promise. And then two, will be like, well, why didn't Final Fantasy do this? Like, where's the?
I think the Dragon Quest 11 came out in Japan for Switch, or is still being released, but it's not coming to the West.
No, they haven't announced it yet. So they haven't revealed anything for the Switch yet. The 3DS version is not coming to the West.
That sucks.
Yeah. So they have that. They have that release and everything, but that's not coming to the West.
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon Quest 11, it did come out this past week.
I know
for PlayStation 4.
It is very tempting to pick it up.
It is very tempting, but I have like a million other things to play, so
that helps.
I'll probably hold on until it comes down in price.
It just, you just look at the towns, and Dragon Quest 8 was very detailed in and of itself, but you look at this game, and it's just like there are so many details here that it's like don't matter really, but it is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's also like one of the few. I guess it's been a while since we got like a true purist like Dragon Quest game.
True.
And Dragon Quest 11 seems to be that.
Yeah.
Because the last one was really 8 on the PlayStation 2. 9 was a MMO kind of style with your friends that you could all play, and then Dragon Quest 10 is literally an MMO that you play online and is only available in Japan. So
yeah,
it's nice to see a return to form. I'll probably pick it up at some point. If it comes to Switch, that'd be amazing, especially for the West, because that'll include a lot of people.
I agree.
A lot of the market.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll have that to look forward to.
Yeah. So that's all to come in the Direct, by the way. Just kidding. That probably won't be in the Direct. But we did get a Direct.
Not now.
Not now. Maybe a later Direct. That won't happen in a week. But Tokyo Game Show is coming up. So who knows what they'll announce there. So that's something to look forward to. Then last week or 2 weeks, oh gosh, I don't know, my time is all off. We had an indie spotlight, and we won't spend too much time on this because there really wasn't a whole lot of great games announced. Now, to each their own. Like
shots fired.
I know, shots fired. To each their own. And there were some fun-looking games, I will admit. And you look on Twitter and you look on social media, and some people gravitated towards more one certain game more than others. But it was. I don't think it was as stellar as it has been in the past. It's not necessarily because I'm getting tired of indies. No, I like games coming to the Switch. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of games that spoke to me. But before we go more into that, I think you wanted to say something right there.
No, okay. I am pretty much on board with you. I mean, there wasn't personally any games that I was super interested in, although I found it really weird that they threw Undertale in the sizzle reel. Compared to everything, especially when it's coming out so soon. But that could just be me too. But I feel like that would be a game that a lot of Switch owners or Nintendo gamers who don't PC game, who don't have any other console would be really interested in. And it was just kind of like shown off for 3 seconds in the closing remarks.
To be fair though, there has been complaints by some indie developers that Nintendo will give spotlight to certain games and popular games more so than their upcoming games. Now, I think that's part of that has to do with, well, your game sucks, so but I mean, I've never made a game before, so kudos for you to making those games, but sometimes they're just not as good as other games. However, I think Nintendo is trying to look at that and say, okay, well, we had a big announcement for this game already. People just want a date. They're going to buy it anyway. Let's put it in the sizzle reel. But I do see where you're coming from. Like, that is a big game. Why was it just in the sizzle reel? Perhaps that's the reason, to not deter from the other titles. Whether or not that worked, who knows? But yeah, so that could be a possibility, and maybe why King of Cards wasn't shown there either. But I digress. Going back to what I was going to say, there was 3 games that I thought looked interesting. And if you have any games that you want to bring up, Skylar, feel free to. Hyper Light Drifter, that's already out. That's a game that I've always had my eye on, even when it was just on, I believe it was Steam. It just looked interesting, and I liked the art style, and it looked like a game I could pick up and not be too frustrated. And like, I've heard it can be difficult, but I don't know. Especially after playing Celeste, I do feel a little more comfortable with games that are lenient on how much you die, because there isn't a life counter and the checkpoints are fairly frequent. So something like that seems to be my cup of tea. So interested in that.
Well, definitely games got a lot of steam behind it. That's for sure. Just from the sense that the Hyper Light Drifter was added to Brawlout about a year ago. So yeah, I mean, he's got to have some fan base behind him. I took a look at the game, and it looks a lot like Moon Hunters to me, and I'm not the biggest fan of Moon Hunters. I thought it would be really cool just playing through the game multiple times, having the story affect it, but it didn't really happen. Like, the game never really capitalized on its one selling feature. But I probably shouldn't attribute that to this game. I'm sure this game's a lot better, and it's been getting a lot higher review scores than Moon Hunters too. So probably a game to keep my eye on.
Yeah, if I pick it up, I'll definitely let you know how it is. It is tempting to buy as it is now on the eShop, but we shall see. Another game that I really like that I didn't think would be coming to the Switch actually is Untitled Goose Game. So if you don't know, I hate geese with a burning passion. There are a lot of things that I hate in this world, and geese are the only things that I loathe. I guess there are some other things I loathe, but I won't go into that. Geese are evil. They are spawn of the devil. Like,
you know, did a goose steal your pizza once, James?
I don't like to talk about it, okay? It's a sensitive situation.
This is an Untitled
mind
Goose
its own
game.
business.
Devil Goose Simulator.
Yeah, Devil Goose Simulator. And now I get to ruin people's lives. This is perfect.
As a goose, eat their sandwich.
I love that. He's just like, the sandwich is mine now. He just runs away. It's like, yes.
The guy's like, dude, this is my sandwich. I think it's funny too, because there's like some weird stealth or espionage thing going on with the goose, which is like MGS Goose Simulator. You're just like sneaking by and trying not to get caught and taking stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and another thing that really like impresses me with this game, is the fact that it's not like a pixelated game. Like, it's not 8-bit at all, you know?
No, it's not.
It has its own style. Sorry.
Probably why it stood out.
Yeah.
In the Direct.
Totally. No, I agree. Like, not only is it a unique gameplay, it's just a unique style as well. Like, they both, it's refreshing to see. Like, this is the kind of titles you want from the indie community. Now, I'm not going to tell someone to not make a game because, I've seen it done before. You know, put your own take on it, sure. But man, is it great to see a game like this that just out of nowhere and kind of quirky, but still looks like it could be a lot of fun. So we shall see. Maybe be garbage, but the concept intrigues me.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Dragon Marked for Dead. Name aside, I think this game looks pretty cool. The name kind of sounds a little too edgy for me, but that's Japan for you. They sometimes their titles can just be so like geared toward the 14-year-olds. Anyway, and I actually, anywho, sorry, I started to go on a tangent there. But Dragon Mark for Dead is made by Inti Creates, which is a great developer in their own right. So I'm excited to see what they bring to this like beat 'em up kind of action adventure JRPG style game. And it is there can be more than one player. Like I think it's up to 4 players potentially. I may be wrong there, but it does look like it could be fun, and both as a single player experience and a multiplayer experience. So willing to give it a shot when it comes out. I forget the release date for that, but it was in the sizzle reel along with Undertale. So there you go.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed with Inti Create so far. Like I picked up the Blaster Master Zero. I picked up the Mega Man clone. It was like Mighty Gunvolt Burst, I think is what it's called. And the newest like Castlevania spinoffs they've been doing, I think they've been really good. I played through the Blaster Master game with all of the DLC characters and stuff because they were handing them out for free for a while. And I really enjoyed the gameplay. Probably the first Blaster Master game I've actually finished and enjoyed. But yeah, they do really good work.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell, and they put a lot of time and care into their products, and or like I forgot what I was gonna say there, but it's a story of my life.
It's not even a steep price to entry. Most of their games, if not all of them, are $10, I think, for purchase.
I mean,
so they're pretty cheap as far as the indies have been coming, and I feel like they've been doing some really quality work. Like I haven't run into any bugs really or game breaking glitches or anything.
Right. You know, you mentioned this Castlevania games, and I don't think I even knew those were a thing, let alone made by indie creates.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really solid titles. The music's I'm not going to say it's on par with the original Castlevania because
I mean, can you really be on par?
That's a lie. But it's still really good. It captures some of that spirit, some of that the musical finesse, as they say.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. So those are the games that interest me. But that's only like 3 games, but a lot of the games kind of, aside from being in a genre that is somewhere in a genre that just doesn't appeal to me, a lot of them were just the same things over and over again. The same styles. Oh, there was one more that, despite it being kind of pixelated, I thought it was interesting. The hat one. Oh god.
Oh, the one where you like ground pound each other's hats off and
hats,
stuff.
Yeah, like you throw hats at each other. I don't know. There's something about it just seems like fun and chaotic and weird, and I like that. Like it's also another new concept in my mind. So new concept.
It just looks like a fun 10-minute fling with your friends.
Yeah, I mean,
just in my opinion, looking at it, like I can't see myself playing it for hours.
No, not at all.
But it looks like a fun few minutes with friends.
Yeah, like and that's what I would want. Just an icebreaker kind of game, or maybe even just good close friends, just a short game like that. Yeah, it does look interesting.
The warm up for Smash Bros.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh, I really want to play that game, but going on from there, so there were a lot of kind of like 8-bit pixely games. King of the Hat, that's what it was called. Anywho, there were a lot of those pixel games, and there have been quite a few in the directs. And for me, and I think this is the same for you, Skylar, it does seem like it's getting a little old.
I'm getting tired of seeing the 8-bit design. Like by this point, it's just like they're choosing to go for the 8-bit, which is not necessarily bad. But like you said, we've been seeing a lot of them lately. And I kind of want to see something new, something different. Maybe even, I don't know what it is. The pixel art is it's too much. That and the Flash game art. Those have both gotten a little bit old on me, just personally.
Yeah. I hear you. And I don't want to just tell people not to create a game like using that art style. Like, I don't know, like, it doesn't have the same appeal as it did back in the day when indies were first starting to be big. Like, with Shovel Knight, it's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly like, the NES. Oh wow,
yeah,
holy cow, these graphics, they're so nostalgic. But now it's just kind of like goes hand in hand with indies in some point, in some cases. So.
Yeah, pretty heavily associated with indie games.
Right. And I kind of want to see the scene, the community just kind of break away from that and differentiate themselves from that. I know you want to create what you want and everything, but try some new stuff. Easier said than done, of course, especially for smaller studios. I mean, not gonna lie, it's hard to make a game with a big team, let alone a small one. So I guess I understand that. Then again, Hat in Time was only made by a few people, right?
Yeah, but oh man, Hat in Time took years.
Hat in Time
was a huge development process.
So if you don't mind, like, not having Nindies for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, maybe this is the way to go. I don't know. But some of those games just look like shovelware. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but there was that one Treasure Hook one, and I know that's someone's baby, but it doesn't appeal to me, and just kind of looks like something I would have bought on the Wii back in the day, But anyway, no offense to anybody meant. I will try a game if it looks interesting to me, or if someone tells me you should try this game and I don't have anything else to play, then I will try it. But yeah, I'm just a little tired of the style. But anywho.
Yes. Speaking of pixels, though, we can talk about one game that was noticeably absent, but they announced a release date later. It was the King of Cards. It's being released next April, I believe, next April 2019. And it's being released with a multiplayer battle mode of sorts, which it's interesting, but it's been so long since we got Spectre Knight that I was a little bit disappointed. But I've had the Shovel Knight amiibo for Spectre Plague and King Knight on pre-order for forever. So just like I want this game so bad. It looks so good. But I found it weird that it wasn't in the direct, and I kind of understand why now, because it's being released so late into next, or not even late. It was like the end of my second semester at BYU necessarily.
Yeah, no, it was. It's what it'll be. What will it be? 2 years when it releases in April that it was announced, or is it just a year?
2.
2, yeah. So
maybe 2.5.
So
maybe
I don't know. Developers run into problems, run into issues, and I think Yacht Club Games has kind of been known for slowly bringing those games, and they do deliver. So I think we both trust them, and they're going to deliver a good game. It just is disappointing to see it pushed back so far, especially when they had promised this year and then later this year, and now it's in 2019. Yeah, it's kind of the same feeling as with Breath of the Wild. But just like I did with Nintendo, I'll trust Yacht Club Games that they'll deliver. But I wonder if the reason why they didn't have it in the Direct, in the spotlight, was the same reasons for putting Undertale in those sizzle reel. Because they didn't want to detract from the other games that are being announced, especially for a game that, like you said, is delayed. So,
yeah,
but that
the delay. I mean, it wasn't even in the sizzle reel, so the delay makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that Smashdown, or whatever they call their fighter mode, is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited. It comes out with King of Cards, so I
was surprised how many playable characters there are. Like, you really get to play as a lot of them, and even ones like, I think there's a couple were like enemies, like regular enemies you get to play as, or was I wrong? I think there was like
I think the Rapier Knight guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I think it's cool too, because they said they wanted to move on and do something different than Shovel Knight when this was done. So I can definitely see them just trying to flush this game out as much as possible so they can feel like they're ready and move on to something else.
I'm excited for King of Cards. At the same time, I am ecstatic for what these developers have prepared after this, like what their next project is. I mean, if they can deliver like they did with Shovel Knight, oh man, just thinking about it just makes me excited. Maybe I shouldn't hype myself too much, but anywho.
James, they haven't even announced anything. Not even a JPEG.
My gosh,
you can't be excited yet.
Not even a JPEG. Hey, come on. People were getting excited for Skyrim? Excuse me. Elder Scrolls.
Metroid.
Metroid 4.
Metroid 4, Elder Scrolls 6. Well, actually, they got some Doom Eternal gameplay. So
They did, and my goodness, does it look good. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. That is not an indie. We cannot talk about that right now. Anywho, so that's the end of the spotlight for us. Let us know what you thought of the spotlight. Are there too many pixel 8-bit games, or are we just overreacting here? I may be, but so let us know what you guys think. Moving on to our favorite section, what we've been playing this week. We have been busy boys. Although Skylar has been busy in other things other than Switch. Traitor. Just kidding. But I'll go ahead and start. So I finally finished Octopath Traveler since the last time we recorded. So that's great. And I had fun the whole time. Well, okay.
Wow.
I had fun.
Kudos, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like some people, okay, I think we're all different. I like to spend time in a game and just really get to know the system and everything. And as long as I have a directive where I'm going, it's good. Like I don't mind it. It's when you get to a point where you're just at this wall and then you're just kind of like, well, what do I do now? That's when things start falling apart for me in any game. And Octopath kind of had that. And it was so I finished all 8 stories, and some were better than others, and I really enjoyed one more than another, and was taking that all in. So I decided, I'll just do some side quests. We'll see how far I go. I probably won't go to the dungeon, but as I was going through the side quests, I end up like finding like the final dungeon out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, like here we are.
Oh crap.
So, but I mean, it asked me, it's like, are you ready to do this? It's like, oh wait, this is it. This is the final quest. No. So,
are you ready to die?
No, not yet. At least let me try to be a little more decent.
Square Enix, wait. I'm not ready for the 3-hour boss fight yet.
Not yet.
Stop.
Not yet. Please spare me. So I went and finished all the side quests, or at least tried to. And I really did enjoy that. I mean, there are some side quests that are just kind of like, what in the world? Like, what do you need? Who do you need? How am I going to figure this out? And I would like grab someone with my guide ability and just like take him around and just talk to random people, or like no. I had an idea. I was like, I wonder if this person, so I go to this person. No, that's not it. Okay, I'll go to this town and talk to this person, but then sometimes I'd just be like, I'm just going to talk to this person. I doubt anything's going to happen. And then it happens. It's like, what? No way. Like
that reminds me of the King's Quest JonTron episode with the fish. He's like walking around with the fish, and he's like, "Do you need the fish? How about you? Do you want the fish?" And you're like dragging this this peasant around. You're like, "Do you need to talk to this person?" No. Okay. All right. And he walks to somewhere else. I was like, "Oh, that worked. Okay. I don't know what I did, but it worked." So it's like they just like dragging this poor soul around. Freaking! Oh my gosh, that's freaking hilarious.
More or less, that's what it was. But it wasn't as much of a chore as maybe I made it sound like, because while I was like trying to figure out who it was, I was able to do other quests at the same time. And I just like had a thought, I should go talk to this person, and it worked out and opened other side quests and whatnot. But yeah, so and sometimes there was another time where I was just like, well, I have no idea where this person would be. Like, I visit this every town, and I'll just talk to this guy. Oh, I found him. Like, it's just random. So
that is super random.
Yeah. So I can see a lot of people having a problem with that. It's not very intuitive. But if you are talking to every person, and you just kind of have it in the back of your mind, and maybe to each person it's a little different. But for me, like, there was times where I would meet someone. It's like, I know who you need. Don't move, and go take care of it.
Yeah. So it's always funny too, because you get the Olberic quests.
Yeah.
He's like, let me fight you, or let's spar, or whatever. He just freaking knocks him out.
Yeah, he's just like, there's like an old lady just Olberic, like whacks him across the face. And, that was a good fight. No, you murdered them.
Olberic, dude, You killed the guy. I'm just kidding. Old Beric, I thought you were a knight. You can't just go around doing this to people. But
this isn't what knights do.
Freak, come on, Old Beric. Anyway, it's hilarious. Octopath Traveler is a special game. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I know JRPGs aren't for everybody, and it is very much by the books. Final Fantasy VI JRPG, but it did bring in some new concepts and new or quality of life improvements that come from a 2018 game. So I really did like that and appreciate that. So anyway, going back to how I finished the game. So I finished all the quests except for one and then the final dungeon. There's this one boss that is just so freaking hard that it's not even the final boss. It's like, if I can't beat this guy, how am I going to, or final boss, excuse me. If I can't beat this guy, how can I never beat the final boss? So I was like, whatever, I'll just go and do it. I feel like I've leveled up enough. Or I you never know unless you try, right? Kind of a thing.
Right, yeah.
So without spoiling what happens, there's a steps you have to do to get to the final boss. And those steps take roughly about 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours to complete. And they can feel repetitive. No, well, maybe repetitive is the wrong word. You'll definitely be saying deja vu when you're playing these parts. So they can be engaging, but I don't know, like it's not bad. It is kind of epic. Then you get to the boss, and then the boss kills you. Okay, like there's no way. It's just gonna wipe you first time. Because you're not ready. You are not ready. I promise you will not be ready. Unless maybe you're level 99. Then, okay, maybe you'll be ready. But the problem is you cannot save at any point during that whole fight. Though all those steps, an hour to 2 hours, you cannot save at all. So you know what? You have to do it all over again. And that is killer, man. Like, I know now this is after the credits roll. This is technically not actual end game or actual how the game ends. But well, because of that, I think the developers are like, well, let's make this a really tough challenge, like give them something to work up to. But I mean, you can at least give me a save. Like, why do I have to go through these steps over and over again? So I think I ended up doing it 3 times, which is actually not that many when you think about it. However,
but that's 6 hours.
But it is a lot of time, and that's not including how long it takes to actually die against the final boss. Because I believe it was my 3rd time playing. I did get past the first phase of the final boss, and then here comes the second phase, and just like 4 turns, I'm dead. Like there was just no way. Yeah. So it was so frustrating and so like draining that it's, you know what? I'm not doing it. Maybe I'll do it later. I'm just going to put the game down because in between those sessions where I got wiped by the boss, I would go back and find a place to grind. And I found some good places to grind. I actually kind of did enjoy the grinding. It wasn't that bad. I was getting level ups rather consistently, so that was good. But it's still time consuming, and then you have to go do those steps again that take an hour or 2. So, nah. I have other games I want to play, and I'm putting it down. So,
see, that's exactly how I felt after the Splatoon DLC and the final boss.
After the what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Like the true final boss in Splatoon 2.
Oh yes.
Like that final challenge. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I fought you for like 2 hours. I'm done. No, I can't do this anymore. I agree. I have other stuff to do. This is stupid. I'm leaving. So
there's just a point where you just I mean, so, unless you like really love a game and, you know, so, I mean, I don't know. To each their own, but I don't blame anybody for just being at a point where it's like, this is stupid. Like, or I've spent too much time on this. It's time to move on.
Yeah, it's like I have way too many other games that I want to play right now for me to play through the rest of this DLC that doesn't even really reward me that much afterward.
Right. I mean, like,
but
yeah, it's not the main game. You've already beaten the game. You know, I mean, I guess I can't say 100% Octopath Traveler without beating this boss, which, by the way, you know, I had mentioned that other boss that I was having trouble beat. I went back and beat that boss after changing up my strategy a bit. It was okay. Now I'm ready. I was not ready. So
you're still not ready.
Still not ready. Oh, I think that was when I beat the first phase. So technically that worked, but then the freaking second phase came. It was like, forget it. I'm done. So that was what that was what I was doing. Still love the game. It is my contender for game of the year for me.
Whoa.
However, I don't know if I'll give it to it. I think I have another game in mind, but we shall see. It's actually already released, and I've already played it. And I love that, and I love the game to death. But we'll talk about that at a later towards the end of the year, I guess. The other game I played, and we don't have to spend too much time on this, or maybe I don't know. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Valkeria Chronicles 4, the demo. This game's coming out this month, towards the end of the month, actually. And the demo's been out for a few months, or a month, however long it's been out. But
it's a couple.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But because I've been playing Octopath and other games, I was like, I'm just going to put this off until I have time. Well, I made the time. Like, and so,
yeah.
So I finally played it, and my opinions from E3 have changed. My opinions haven't changed. Or maybe actually they have changed for the better. I actually really enjoy this game. So
yeah.
When I played at E3, I thought it was just going to be a third-person shooter with some strategic elements, but it's very much more a strategic element game with shooting in it. And I can see that more in the demo. And I also get to see a lot more of the different unit styles, how the units play and how the puzzles are going to work, or, you know, how the enemies are going to attack and everything. So that I'm excited to see the different map designs and the just how I'm going to beat the game. I'm excited to play through the maps. Yeah, so it is very JRPG anime. Like, it is World War II with waifus. I guess husbandos in a sense. I mean, there's the one sniper girl, Kai. It's like, oh my gosh, like.
She's not that bad.
No. Well, I just mean like, no, she's not like risque or anything. But she's definitely won my heart, kind of a thing.
No, Kai is cool.
Yeah,
I liked Kai. When I played through the demo.
Yeah,
Kai was cool.
She's pretty
and
chill.
Then I forget the girl who's got the mortar, but she's
what is her name?
She's like typical like tsundere thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe they always do a point where like you start, liking her as a character. Typical tsundere, but whatever. It's storytelling. On that note, like, I don't know how much the story intrigues me to say. The lore is intriguing. Like, I love how this is like a European war with a Japanese kind of mask on it,
Yeah, it feels very Fire Emblem, but in World War II or World War I setting.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like. It was interesting when I was playing it. I did like the story. The combat was just a little bit slow for me.
Really?
And some of the characters' abilities ticked me off to no end. It was like, yeah, I can't actually see, or I'm just going to miss this shot because my ability tells me to.
Yeah. I'm praying. Sorry, go ahead.
It just gets annoying. I mean, maybe it changes when they level up. Maybe they get their better abilities. One girl literally wears a helmet on her head. And
I avoided
she
her.
she has a blindness like ability where she just misses entirely or goes the complete wrong direction because she can't see. This dumb should just take her helmet off. But she's being stupid the whole time. It's like this game is ridiculous. And I hope these units get better. But as of right now, I like 3 people, and they're the only they're like the people who are in charge. Everyone else is terrible.
Yeah, the people in charge are pretty reliable. And that's wonderful. But everyone else is just kind of like there's one sniper who she gets really nervous, and then and so she can just flat out miss. So it didn't happen when I first played her, but for some reason I just stuck with it. And I think it's obviously there's luck to it because she was starting to pick off people for me rather well, and she didn't run into her ability being an issue. Now I'm not saying that happens as as further on in the game. I don't know that. I hope that they change or that they get better and get rid of those stupid abilities.
Oh yes, please.
Because there's some
way to get rid of this.
Yeah, I guess it adds a quirkiness to the game, but when I'm in end game, I don't want to have this random thing. I don't know. It just seems too random and too. I don't want to be that unreliable.
I mean, you're basically sending your unit to die, and it's not your fault.
Yeah,
it's like you go in there and you tell this person to shoot this one guy. And they decide to not do it now just because their ability tells them to. And so you're like, well, now you're staring right in the face of this infantry guy who's just going to, pepper you with bullets. And there's nothing I can do because the game screwed me over. Maybe it's my fault for not knowing my unit's abilities, but at the same time, it's just super annoying when that happens. Oh, we need a medic. Great. It's my fault. And I don't feel like the game did a good enough job with some of the unit class types telling you what they do until it was too late. So there was the second battle. It's why would I want to bring these people in? They don't have any skills. But then I drop into the map and then that same unit's no, they restock your bullets and junk.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should have brought one of them in. That would have been nice to know before I chose my units. But I mean, I'll probably give it another shot. I still have it pre-ordered and under Amazon's 20% discount because I had it pre-ordered so long ago. So I'll probably still pick it up just because it'll be cheaper, September 28th or something.
Yeah.
But then you have Torna coming out.
I know.
Right before that.
I mean, this may get what the treatment that the demo got. It may get pushed off until after Torna's finished.
It's too many JRPGs fighting for your attention.
It really is. Yeah, I feel it sounds like you enjoyed it a little bit, but there was some gripes you had with it. For the most part, I didn't really have many gripes. It is different, and I do think it's odd that your individual units don't level up. It's the class levels up, so. Yeah, in a sense, it works for the game. It's just a little different for me.
It's really weird.
Yeah, but it almost it doesn't matter who you bring per se, as long as you bring in the main guys. Just make sure you're bringing the main guys, and then it doesn't matter who else you bring.
Bring in the main guys because they won't do anything stupid,
right? And
then pick the character with the most annoying ability and take them in.
Right. I mean, that's basically my strategy. And I also played the bonus chapter that comes with the demo. Did you play with that one as well?
I didn't play the bonus chapter. I played through chapter 2 or 3. I can't remember because I got the tsundere girl and then I was in halfway to the next thing.
Yeah,
but
So so the bonus chapter puts you like later in the game, and it's like a snow level. And so there's a little more strategy involved, and you get like tsundere girl with the motor, and you can have her like fire at people from far off, and that's great. But also like you're getting like there's like 3 or 4 motors of firing at you, so you have to like be quick to like pick them off. But it works like if you strategize properly and you put your snipers in the right place, or you get your tank in the right place as well. It really works, and you got to constantly be thinking and trying to see what units are out there, and that's why the scouters are so important. I feel like there's a lot of depth to this game. Maybe not so much in the characters, but how the map is laid out and how the enemy troops are laid out. So it feels really much like a lot like a board game in that sense.
That to me, I think you're spot on. I feel like there's a lot more to this game that they didn't really show in the demo. That final mission, I remember watching someone else play it and just looked crazy. So I thought it was interesting that they just drop you in at that point. But so far what I played at the beginning, it's been pretty handholdy or very like slow, very slow and easing you in, which for this kind of game is probably really good. Just because this kind of stuff, I can see it getting really out of hand or really crazy. Yeah. Really fast.
I agree. I think it needs to be a little slow, even with its mechanics, because like we were saying, how the units level up or how the classes level up instead of the units, and some of the other mechanics in the gameplay are not necessarily things we've seen before. So even with playing like Fire Emblem, which I think is the closest thing you can compare this to. I do think that slow pace is very important. Yeah, at least the beginning
for sure. But yeah, I liked some of the plot stuff I was seeing, and it is an interesting setting. I just had a couple gripes with like the characters feel like they're kind of dumb. Yeah. Well, everybody but the main characters.
But the main characters.
The main characters have no flaws and only pluses, I swear. But like everyone else has just kind of got, got some negatives.
So, one last thing I'll say. In the snow level, you get Minerva as a unit. The one, the girl with glasses.
The Camilla of this campaign.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No,
go ahead.
You're spot on. Like literally, when she gets like a good shot or something, sometimes the characters will get like a little victory
special animation.
Her animation is, yeah.
Senran Kagura.
No. Yeah. Okay. I mean, she's just being a girl, and her womanhood is very much in the forefront.
She has a well-developed personality.
Anywho, if you like strategy games and you haven't tried Valkeria Chronicles before, I recommend it. Highly recommend. At least from when I played in the demo. Try out the demo. It's free. Do it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, might as well. I talked a lot. Sorry. Skylar, please take the wheel.
So yeah, I guess as James has been saying, I haven't played my Switch that much lately. I mean, I ran through some more stuff with Kirby Star Allies, just trying to finish a few more of the characters off in the bonus mode.
You madman.
I'm down to like 9 characters now in there.
Goodness.
I for some reason love running through the same levels as different characters and using their abilities. It was a lot of fun. And then I played Mario Tennis a little bit just to get the bonus characters. But other than that, I mean, Aces, it's better than the 3DS and the Wii U game, but I just miss the GameCube game or something where it feels like you have more than just 3 or 4 stages, and you have gimmick stuff that you can have mess around with, and everybody has their own special abilities that definitely do something different instead of everybody doing the same power shot.
That's like one of my biggest gripes with the game.
But I mean, Aces, it's okay. It's meh. But I'll play it when I feel like getting some tennis action.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just picked it up, ran through a couple of the tournaments to get the extra characters, and then I've been grinding in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to hopefully get the last 2 characters. I probably spent, I said something along the lines like I opened 300 plus commons, like 200 plus rares, and like 50 legendary cores this past week before school started, and I got nothing. Absolutely nothing to show for it besides T. Elos, which was a new blade.
That's
but
common.
I'm pretty sure
common.
T. Elos.
Sorry.
More common than the other 2 I'm missing, which is currently Ursula and Cosmos. And apparently Ursula sucks to get last because you have to send her on all the special missions.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just wanting to unlock them so that I could just start a new game with all of the with all the blades. I wanted it so bad in my new game plus, and I haven't been able to do it. And luckily James gave me a guide that I'll probably look at, but I'm just too tired to play this game anymore right now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is it's drained me a little bit just from how much grinding I've had to do in this game, which it's okay grinding, but when I don't feel like the grinding is accomplishing anything, it kind of bugs me.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it would bug anybody. Even that tutorial video that I shared, even that it takes a little bit of time to get some of the steps that he says. I mean, it seems like it gives you the results. I wish I could tell you that it worked for me, but I was in the process of doing it, and then my Switch crashed, and I had not saved for a while. I know it was terrible, and I guess it's my own fault, but whatever. But it was working, and I felt like I was starting to see some results, or like I was going down the right path. So anyway, if you do get the urge, yes, use that video.
Yes, I'll probably get the urge again, but I feel bad because I wanted to get this done before Torna so that I could take advantage of the DLC that was coming with the game, because I haven't bought the season pass yet, and it would have been nice. But well, it's just how it goes, I guess. So now that we watch the video, you have to grind to get the other stuff that you need to grind the other thing and grind the other boss. So I'm just like, it's insane how much grinding you have to do just so I can get the last 2 blades. And it's painful. Just personally speaking, it's knocked Xenoblade Chronicles to a couple like points down or percentages down. Just like on how I like the game, just because of this very feature. The blades are cool. I want to use the blades, but I feel like I put enough time in. Like, I should have got them by now, but I haven't yet.
This isn't this shouldn't be a gacha game. This shouldn't be a mobile game that you spend hours upon hours, just mindlessly doing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. This is a home console game. The worst part of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the pulling of blades. Like, that is number 1, the worst part of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like hands down.
Yeah. I mean, the worst part is wanting to meet unlock all these cool characters, and you might not ever get the chance to do it. Yeah. It's just sad and kind of infuriating. But I'll try again sometime. I've just been playing other stuff. Like, I finished MGS5 the other day for the PS4. I really enjoyed it. Really good game. I feel really bad for what happened in Kojima, because this game was really good. I got my old PS3 working, my family's old PS3 working, so I finally got access to Scott Pilgrim vs. the World again.
Nice.
So oh man, it was great. But so yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my Nintendo game playing, is Kirby, a little bit of Mario Tennis, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But holy crap, I've spent a lot of time on Chronicles 2 this past week.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
and nothing
man.
to show for it.
That's the worst. Like, at least in Octopath Traveler, the grinding, like, I was having good time, but I was also leveling up. Like,
Yeah.
I could see some benefit from that, and I was able to inch towards the final boss a little more. But I mean, that's like, It's almost as bad as putting all your money into something and you get nothing out of it. Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay.
Thanks, Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah. I don't put any money into Fire Emblem Heroes, but
yeah. It would have been nice. I gained 2 levels. So now I'm level 77 or whatever.
After that many hours?
After all that time, I gained 2 levels fighting the same legendary boss. So thanks.
Thanks, Xenoblade.
But thanks, Xenoblade. I love you too, I guess. But at least I'm trying to.
Yes.
but hey, that's pretty much been my week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. So that is all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. And before we end this episode, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this episode, as it means a ton. Come follow us on Twitter at NintendCity or at virtual_boys and tell us what you think about not Super Smash Brothers. I was reading the old one. I mean, you can. We love Super Smash Brothers. But tell us what you think about the Nindies Direct, or maybe even the Direct that should be coming here in a week or so. Let us know.
Yes, and you can also come talk to us, or come talk about Nintendo stuff with us as well on Discord. We got some Nintendo fans eager to chat with you there. Check it out at nintendo.city/discord, and patrons on Patreon get access to a supporter-only chat to help us make decisions about the show, website, and more. Speaking of Patreon as well, we'd like to give a shout out to our patrons, Chris, Chase, Ratmvp, and MyEcho, and also Joseph. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. If you want to support the show, get early access to our podcast episodes and more, be sure to check out at patreon.com/NintendCity.
So we usually have like a micro episode after these, but David's not here, so I don't know. What do you think, Skylar? We gonna do one? Are we gonna have a micro episode?
We could talk about K-Rool.
10 minutes, all about K-Rool.
Dude, freaking K-Rool. It's so great. But K-Rool, oh man, there's these couple of these memes going around of K-Rool just blasting his trumpet from this song into like people's ears.
I love it. His song is so good. Anywho, I don't know if we're gonna have a virtual boy micro this week. Well, we'll think about it, but don't expect one. But you can get access to those if you join our Patreon, and if you become a patron. So you can get access to that at patreon.com/NintendCity. Don't forget to check out our YouTube page. We have some amazing content on there. I just released a Smash video about how this is the ultimate Smash game. Or the ultimate
Destiny.
The ultimate Destiny. This is the ultimate game made for the fans. I think that was the title or something like that. Also, side note, the Daisy and Luigi video, Waluigi video, hit over 100,000 subscribers.
Subscribes?
That's not subscribers. That's a lot of subscribbles. Yes, we're that big people. No, views. Views. Oh gosh, I am obviously tired. But if you like what you see, you can give us 100,000 subscribers, or at least help us work up to that by subscribing yourself.
Go assist yourself.
Waluigi gonna kick butt in Mario Tennis or whatever he says.
And I'm going to go beat everyone Mario Tennis Aces instead.
It's true. It's true. Although matches between him and Bowser Jr. are like, man, amazing to see. Anywho,
defense v defense, baby.
The music that you listen to at the beginning of the podcast and we'll listen to shortly after was composed by Skylar. He's right here. Our talented co-host. He posts his music on his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Skytar with a 5 instead of an S. He's probably releasing some new music fairly soon with the school year starting up, yeah?
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm writing some stuff right now. So
awesome.
And again, thanks for tuning into the Virtual Boys podcast this week. To help the show grow, we'd love to leave. We'd love you to leave a review on iTunes and share this episode with your friends. Also, be sure to check out our website at nintendcity.com. To learn more about this episode, check out nintend.city/EP108 for the show notes. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
See ya. Goodbye, you good people.